guys, this is a session on inflammation. So, what do you mean by the word inflammation? In simple words, you can tell it as swelling. You can see a swelling in your body parts. It is a process by which our own immune system starts to malfunction. So, moving on to the details about the inflammation, the chapter is inflammation and repair. The definition of inflammation is a response of the vascularized tissue that delivers leukocytes and the molecules of the host defense from the circulation to the sites of infection and the cell damage in order to eliminate the offending agent. In simple words, you can tell that it's a process by which our body's WBCs, leukocytes, all these will try to protect you from the infection by the foreign particles or microbes or bacteria or viruses. Looking into definition, inflammation is a response of the vascularized tissue. What happens? Our vascularized tissue is trying to respond. How? By delivering the leukocytes and some molecules of the host defense from our circulation to site of infection. So imagine this is the blood vessels and there is presence of the endothelial cells here. So when there is a injury in this area, our body will try to sell the leukocytes to this area. So leukocytes and some other molecules will come to this area, even neutrophils, monocytes, etc. These particles will come to the site of infection and try to eliminate those offending agents. They'll try to eliminate the offending agents. This is the exact meaning of the definition. So, it is a protective response which is needed for our survival. Example, so imagine it's a battle where the enemy is the infectious agent and the defense is the leukocyte or antibodies produced in our body. It's a battle between the infectious agent and the leukocytes or antibodies produced in our body. Who wins the fight finally? It's won by leukocytes or monocytes, etc. It can also cause tissue damage to itself. It can harm our tissues or it can be beneficial to our tissues. Further, the inflammation is divided into two types, that is acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. Difference is, first point, the onset. Acute inflammation is fast, which occurs within minutes to hours, whereas chronic inflammation is very slow process which takes a lot of days. The cells involved are neutrophils in acute inflammation, whereas in chronic inflammation, it includes the monocytes as well as macrophages and lymphocytes. The tissue injury is mild and self limited, whereas in chronic, it's very severe and it can be progressive also. The important signs, symptoms, and local parts are it is very prominent, but this chronic inflammation is less prominent. Again, the difference between acute and chronic inflammation, the onset is very fast and minutes. It occurs within minutes, whereas in chronic it is a very slow process. It might take several days. The cells involved in acute inflammation are neutrophils, whereas in chronic inflammation it's monocytes or lymphocytes. The tissue injury is mild and it's a self-limited. It does not spreads to other area. It cannot create a malignant cause. Whereas in chronic inflammation, it is severe and it can progress to other organs and areas. The important signs and symptoms are it is very prominent. You can see all the signs and symptoms, it's a very prominent one. Whereas in chronic, it's a less prominent one. These are some of the basic things to know in this chapter. The five cardinal signs of inflammation, very important one. What are the five cardinal signs of inflammation? The first one is pain, heat, redness, swelling, and loss of function. This was invented in the later upcoming years. So moving on to some basic concept which I have not written here but I'll explain it. Remember, injury is the response of our body which causes changes in the blood vessels as well as changes in the connective tissues. This response, for some time, it is very protective, but after that, it becomes harmful to your own body. There are two subtypes: acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. What do you mean by acute inflammation? I have said the difference. Remember 2 points. Acute inflammation is of shorter duration and it occurs mainly in neutrophils, whereas chronic inflammation is the one which is of longer duration and it occurs in mononuclear WBCs like leukocytes, monocytes, and macrophages. Further about the cardinal features of inflammation, as I've said, redness, temperature, swelling, pain, loss of function, we'll study a bit historical aspects about it. The word inflammation is derived from the Latin word inflammare. So, what is inflammare? Inflammare is to set on fire. There was a scientist called as Celsius, who was a Roman writer of 1st century, who listed four important signs of cardinal inflammation. Those are very important. You have to remember this. The first one is rubor, which means R, that is redness. Second one is tumor, which means swelling. Third one is calor, which means heat. And fourth one is dolor, that is pain. What are the four important signs of cardinal signs invented by Celsius? That is rubor, redness, tumor, swelling, calor, heat, and dolor, pain. There was another scientist called as Rudolf Virchow who said about the functio laesae, which means loss of function. It was added by him in the 19th century. See the gap. This was invented in the 1st century. This was described in 19th century. The fifth one is functio laesae, which means loss of function, which was added by Rudolf Virchow. Remember these two scientists at least. First one was Celsius, second one was Rudolf Virchow. Next scientist was John Hunter, who was a Scottish surgeon in the 1793. He said that inflammation is not a disease, but it's just a response. When this response occurs, we know there are two important changes occurring in our body. That is, there will be change in blood vessels. It might cause dilation or constriction, or there might be changes in the cells, the connective cells or the endothelial cells. Next scientist is Elie Mechnikov in the year 1880, who was a Russian zoologist who discovered the process of phagocytosis. What is phagocytosis? It is engulfment of foreign particles. Last scientist was Thomas Lewis, who said about the triple response. Remember the scientists' names, at least two of them, Celsius and Rudolf Virchow. Celsius, who was a Roman writer who said about the four cardinal signs of inflammation, that is rubor, tumor, calor, and dolor. And the fifth one was functio laesae, which was said by Rudolf Virchow. John Hunter, who said that inflammation is not a disease, but it's just a response. Elie Mechnikov, who discovered the process of phagocytosis, it's killing and engulfing of the foreign particles. Thomas Lewis, who explained about the triple response. Remember these 5 R's, the 5 steps of inflammatory response: recognition, recruitment, removal, regulation, repair, or resolution. First one is recognition. You have to recognize the injurious agent which causes injury to your body. Second one is recruitment. Recruitment of the inflammatory cells, those are leukocytes. So this is a blood vessels. Imagine this is a blood vessels. These are the endothelial cells, as I've drawn the same diagram last also. So these are the endothelial cells. Okay. When a injurious agent, okay, imagine this is an injurious agent. When this injurious agent tries to invade inside your body, What you have to do? You have to recognize the injurious agent. This is the step one. What you have to do? You have to recognize the injurious agent. Next, recruitment of the inflammatory cells. What are those inflammatory cells? Leukocytes, monocytes, macrophages. These cells will recognize and recruit the inflammatory cells. All these things will start to come to this area which was injured. Third step is removal of the injurious agent. These particles, these inflammatory cells will remove these injurious substance from our body. Fourth one is regulation or control of the inflammatory response. There have to be regulate and control of the inflammatory response. Fifth one is finally the repair or the resolution. Once these foreign particles are removed from our body, this area will start to repair itself and become a normal tissue. So these are the 5 important RS which you have to remember. First one, recognition, recruitment, removal, regulation and repair. Moving on to some important definitions of these 5 cardinal signs of inflammation. First one is rubor, which means redness, RR. What is red? Why there is redness? It is mainly due to increase in the blood flow and stasis. Calor is nothing but heat, which is nothing but there is increase in the blood flow. Therefore, there is increase in the temperature. Tumor is edema or swelling, which occurs due to increase in the vascular permeability, causing the escape of protein-rich fluid from the blood vessels. Dolor is pain, which is mainly due to chemical mediators like the prostaglandins, kinins, all those things are released. Moving on to the 2 important events that takes place during the acute inflammation. First one is the vascular changes, the changes that takes place in the blood vessels. The second one is the cellular events, the changes that takes place in the cells, mainly the leukocytes, monocytes or macrophages. First, vascular change. As we know, there is increase in the blood flow. So if this is a blood vessels, when there is invasion of the foreign particles, what will happen, or when there is any injury to this region, there will be increase in the blood flow. Once there is increase in the blood flow, to bring the cells and proteins to the site of injury. That's what. After there is increase in the blood flow, all these cells, leukocytes, monocytes, macrophages, assemble to this site. When there is recruitment of these cells at this site, it causes vasodilation. This area gets dilated. There will be dilation of this area. When there is increase in vasodilation, it causes increase in vascular permeability. Remember these 4 important changes. First, in this area, there will be increase in the blood flow, which makes the recruitment of all these cells, leukocytes, macrophages, monocytes, etc., which causes vasodilation of this area and increases vascular permeability. The cellular events include the recruitment of the leukocytes. Once there is recruitment of the leukocytes, what will happen? There will be activation of these leukocytes, which leads to the process of destruction of the invaders and produces the mediators. Once these leukocytes come to this area after the vascular change, once all these things come here, it causes destruction of these particles. How do they destruct? There will be generation of chemical mediators like the prostaglandins, kinins, chemical mediators. All these come to this area and through phagocytosis they kill all these invaders. These are the 2 important changes. Understood? So first one is vascular change and second one is cellular changes. Next is, what are the important causes of acute inflammation? What is the stimuli that makes the activation of this acute inflammation? First is infection. There might be infection like the bacterial, fungal, viral and parasites, or there might be some microbial toxins which causes the acute inflammation. It also might be due to mild acute inflammation which is caused due to little damage. Even when there is a little damage in the cell, even when there is little damage, it causes infection, and therefore there will be activation of leukocytes and chemical mediators to heal that area. It also might be due to systemic reactions which might be fatal and leads to death. Chronic inflammation, which is due to tissue injury. The five causes in the infections due to infections are bacterial, viral, fungal or parasitic infections, or there might be production of endotoxin and exotoxins or microbial toxins. There might be acute inflammation due to little damage, or chronic inflammation due to any tissue injury, or there might be any systemic severe reaction causing life threatening diseases. Second one is tissue necrosis. Tissue necrosis. What is necrosis? Necrosis is nothing but pathological cell death. What is apoptosis? Apoptosis is a programmed cell death. Necrosis is a pathological cell death. Inflammation due to cell death. Once there is inflammation, it causes cell death. How? There might be ischemia. What is ischemia? There is decrease in the supply of oxygen to our body, which is mainly seen in the myocardial infarction. When there is decrease in supply of oxygen to our heart muscles, myofibrils, it causes decrease in the blood flow, decrease in the blood supply, and finally lead to MI. Or there might be any physical agents which makes the tissue necrosis, like the mechanical trauma or the thermal injury due to burns or frostbite. It might be radiations, electrical shock, or some sudden changes. These are some of the physical agents causing the acute inflammation. There are also some chemical injurious agents like the strong acids or alkali. It also might be due to insecticides or herbicide. The third one is presence of foreign bodies like the splinters, dirt or sutures which gets accumulated in our body and causes inflammation and damage of the tissue. They cause traumatic tissue damage. That's what I said. They cause traumatic tissue damage. Even some endogenous substance can be harmful if they get deposited in our tissues. All these substances or foreign particles, if they invade our body, then they will be destroyed through the chemical mediators like the prostaglandins or kinins, and they will be removed from our body through leukocytes. Even when there is deposition of urate crystals, which is seen in gout, there is increase in the accumulation of urate crystals and causes gout. Due to accumulation of cholesterol, which leads to atherosclerosis. Due to accumulation of lipids, which causes obesity associated metabolic syndrome. Remember, when there is deposition of lipids, fats, it causes, and it makes us obese. Fourth one is due to immune response, mainly due to hypersensitivity reactions like the IgE mediated reactions, or it might be due to autoimmune diseases. So, giving a gist of the cause of inflammation, acute inflammation, as you can see in this diagram, the first cause is due to medical conditions such as acute bronchitis, tonsillitis, which is also due to inflammatory foods like the processed meat or refined carbohydrates, refined sugars, refined oils, etc. It also might be due to UV rays, extra UV rays exposure, or due to increase in the UV rays exposure. Exposure to chemicals such as benzene, ketones, and halocarbons might cause acute inflammation, or it might be due to depression or sleep deprivation, smoking, and exposure to external invaders. So that's what about the acute inflammation, cardinal signs of inflammation, and the causes of acute inflammation. We have studied about the vascular changes. So speaking about the summary, we studied about the basic concepts like what is inflammation and what are the causes of inflammation, its classification, the two types, that is acute inflammation and chronic inflammation, cardinal features of inflammation, and in the acute inflammation what are its causes, and vascular changes occurring in inflammation, what are those? First, we know there is vasoconstriction. After vasoconstriction, there is vasodilation. What happens when there is vasodilation? The blood vessel size will increase. It increases the redness, that is rubor, and there will be increase in the temperature, that is scalar. The third step is when there is increase in the vascular dilation, it causes vascular permeability. When there is increase in the vascular permeability, we know there will be transudates or exudates formed, and fluid cells, proteins, all these will go out of the cells and causes edema and swelling. That is the third one, that causes tumor. The most characteristic feature of acute inflammation, remember, that is vascular permeability increase. So when there is increase in the vascular permeability, you can tell it as it's a acute inflammation. The important point to note in this video is when there is increase in the vascular permeability, it's a characteristic feature or classical feature of acute inflammation. The main mechanism occurs in the endothelial cell. The endothelial cells will contract, therefore all the fluid cells, proteins will be released out. So that's it about this video. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you.